When I first saw this video yesterday, or not video, this article, I said, "Uh-oh, Palm Colored is about to be upset." But more importantly, they about to be exposed. Because they love to say that the welfare kings and queens look like you and I. But truth be told, and if you looked at my videos, I've talked about the different welfare queens, especially, I think it was 2 of them in June, where it was like 2 different sets of stories that involved 2 different groups of women that all were pretty much palm colored when it comes to food stamp fraud, welfare fraud, whatever you want to call it. Well, you can look at this picture right here. It says food stamps go down. And according to this article that I'm going to read from Reuters, Trump and his administration has proposed that they cut off food stamps for 3 million American people. Granted, some of our own will get caught up into it. Now, I will say this, and I'm going to be completely honest. This will be bad for those who actually do need food stamps or the assistance. But for those who have abused it, it is what it is. Now, the ones who have abused it are making it bad or have made it bad for those who actually need it. And I don't know why people think that black people or ADOS are the main recipients of food stamps. Probably because of how we were portrayed in the media when it comes to that. But when you look at the beginning stages of food stamps and government assistance, it was white people. It was palm colored people who not only started the program, but also it was made and benefited towards them in its essence. But they put it out there and framed it where food stamps is just a black people thing. And it's definitely not. When you look up the stats of who's on food stamps the most, it's pretty obvious. And then you're going to have some palm color that's going to come back with this excuse or this reasoning. Well, of course, most white people are on food stamps. We're the majority in this establishment. They never miss a beat, a tune, a step to actually say something about them being the dominant society. But they'll never talk about 2022 and 2045, though, maybe even sooner. But if y'all are the dominant society and y'all don't need the assistance, then why are you using this up? And to be quite honest, some of the people that's in dominant society, quote unquote, who use food stamps don't even need it. Many of them are millionaires. You'll be surprised by how many millionaires actually use government assistance, and they'll find a way to actually get it. But let me go ahead and read this article. The Trump administration on Tuesday proposed a rule to tighten food stamp eligibility that will cut about 3.1 million people from the program, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, drawing ire from Democratic senators and advocacy groups. Of course, the Democratic Party would be upset about that. The administration has been rolling out rule changes related to the food stamps known as the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, better known as SNAP, after efforts to pass new restrictions on it were blocked by Congress last year. The program provides free food to some 40 million Americans, or about 12% of the total U.S. population. The USDA bill Tuesday's move as a way to save money and help eliminate what it sees as the widespread abuse of the program. But Democrats and the advocacy groups criticize it as an attack on the nation's poorest. This is how you know that many of them are living under a rock. Because like I just said, not every poor person is on food stamps. A lot of them have a lot of money and can make ends meet, who don't need it and will still use it. Trust and believe. Truth be told, many of them are probably on it too, and that's another reason why they're upset. This rule would take food away from families, prevent children from getting school meals, and make it harder for states to administer food assistance, said Democratic Senator Debbie Stabenow. ranking member of the Senate Committee on Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry. Currently, 43 U.S. states allow residents to become eligible for food stamps automatically through SNAP, or if they receive benefits from another federal program known as Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, or TANF, according to the USDA. The agency wants to change that by requiring people who receive TANF benefits to pass a review of their income and assets to determine whether they are also eligible for free food from SNAP. And you know what? I can't even be mad at that. That's actually something that myself and many others have been saying for years. Prove that they can actually be eligible to get this. Because a lot of people be lying when it comes to how they get these benefits, which makes you question how a lot of the wealthy get the benefits, not into its entirety, but just a little bit. If enacted, the rule would save the federal government about $2.5 billion a year by removing 3.1 million people from SNAP, according to the USDA. Advocacy group First Focus on Children says 7.4% of households with children participating in SNAP would lose their access to food stamps. To cut money for people who need to be fed, it's just another example of the heartlessness of this administration, Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer told reports. President Donald Trump has long argued that many Americans using SNAP do not need it, given the strong economy and low unemployment, and should be removed as a way to save taxpayers as much as $15 billion. Some states are taking advantage of loopholes that allow people to receive the SNAP benefits who would otherwise not qualify and for which they are not entitled. The USDA does not need congressional approval to stop states from automatically allowing recipients of TANF benefits to become eligible for SNAP, said Brandon Lips, a USDA acting deputy undersecretary. Current rules allow people to access SNAP benefits worth thousands of dollars for 2 years without undergoing robust eligibility reviews. Unfortunately, automatic eligibility has expanded to allow even millionaires, to even allow millionaires and others who simply receive a TANF-funded brochure to become eligible for SNAP when they clearly don't need it. There you go. What did I just say? That it is some millionaires out there who are well off and well to do who are able to get it. And I bet you it's way more than what people, don't care to believe. So like I said, this whole thing right here is going to expose a lot of people. The liberal-leaning Center for American Progress advocacy group said the proposal will hurt the poor by forcing states to take food assistance away from those with even modest savings of a few thousands of dollars, as well as raise administrative costs for states. The move could also potentially hurt discount retailers such as Dollar Tree and Dollar General, which have blamed weaker traffic on reduced food stamp coverage in the past. Dollar General shares were down 0.67%, while Dollar Tree shares were down 1.90%. The Congressional Budget Office in December estimated the rule could save the federal government $8.1 billion from 2019 to 2028, lower than the USDA's estimate. In 2016, the CBO said there were concerns the move would eliminate benefits for households in difficult financial situations and increase the complexity and time needed to process SNAP applications. I'm telling you, one of the major reasons why this is out of control is because, like I said, and like the article stated, many of the people who are using SNAP, food stamp, government assistance, don't need it. And many of them are in a whole nother tax bracket. Or they're like those welfare queens that I talked about last month, and they are literally committing an excessive amount of welfare fraud. It's a combination of those two, but definitely that first one. And we as taxpayers, like I said, had to pay billions of dollars into keeping that going because they never put any restrictions on it. They're not saying that food stamps is going all the way away, but they're just saying that they're putting some restrictions on it. Like, now you have to prove that you can be eligible to do it. And the fact that it says it's going to cut down on 3.1 million people lets you know how many people have abused this program. It's probably more, but this is probably just the starting point. So I guess a broke clock can be right twice a day, because I actually now agree with 45 on another thing when it comes to this, and of course with the immigration thing. like I said, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be exposed behind this, and I can't wait to see exactly who it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you in the next one.